Oh no, my keyboard unplugged. I was trying to set some stuff up, but here we go. Sporting in the top left-hand corner of Gressvan, we have the South Korean Terran player representing himself. The madman is teamless. He deserves to be on a team. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gressvan, going for the 15 hatch, going for what I imagine will also be a 15 pool, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. Vámonos, Fabi, vámonos. There it is. The 15 hatch into the 15 pool. You love to see it. Do love to see it. And oh boy, we saw them face a couple of weeks ago. GuMiho, I recall, going for, I believe he proxied in game 2, if I remember correctly, and in game 1 he did go for a much more aggressive style as well. I remember Erik trying to go 2-base infestor, sorry, 2-base swarm host against GuMiho, and it kind of fell on its face. GuMiho was just so aggressive, so in his face, did scout the infestation pit. It was on this map actually. The infestation pit was thrown down here at the natural, and it was scouted, and GuMiho was able to prepare and shut it down back at home. Very quickly here from GuMiho. So we'll see how Erik is able to adapt, as we are now in the middle of the ESL Masters season as well. Erik has been competing, he has been fighting his heart out, and I believe he played his match against Australia last week or a couple of days ago. I can't quite recall what he's up to right now though. Who's this next? Let me just double check. As his next opponent is going to be Disc, a Protoss player. Okay. And I do think he's going to do well against him. Like, facing Australia in the first round was really rough, but I do believe in Erik against Disc in a couple of days. As the first two Lings are going to be going across the map. Again, it was a hatch pool opener, so the Lings have arrived. They're going to be able to disrupt the CC here. They force the Reaper to turn back around, and the Lings even try to dip into the main. Going to be confirming at least a factory, so he knows about the 1-1 opener. Knows no 2-1-1 shenanigans coming out from GuMiho. Didn't see the 3rd CC, as GuMiho is going for a much more economic opener. 3rd CC before Starport. You love to see it. And Erik can prepare back at home, and what does he do? Upon seeing that factory, he throws down a Roach Warren. Can he keep it hidden though? The Reaper is dipping into the main base. Ooh, we do have a very fast lair coming up from Erik, and that is going to be scouted. Reaper is headed towards the natural base as well. The Reaper will survive, and seeing a fast lair like this is a bit of a tell. Again, they faced a couple of weeks ago, and we did see 2-base swarm hosts coming out from Erik, and GuMiho was able to shut it down. We'll see what GuMiho can piece together here, because we're getting speed. Oh my god. We're getting pneumatized carapace. Dropper Lords? Are we going to be seeing a drop across the map? That's typically what this is for, so we'll see what happens, as Hellions are going to be looking to at least delay the third hatchery. What's that, Nexus? Third hatchery is going to be a little bit delayed. Hellions are looking to dive on in as well, just like last time. They don't care about the queens, they don't care about the roaches, but the roaches are coming out. Ooh, a couple of these drones are going to get lined up, and they do get roasted. 4 drones go down. Ooh, 7 in total. I'm getting flashbacks. This happened last week. 7 drones is a pretty insane amount already, especially when we're going for a 2-base or a pretty committed play. Roaches are going to waddle across the map. We are going to try and drone up as heavily as possible, recover our losses. Now, what's important is that we did not have a 3cc Banshee opener. We went for a Viking instead. We're going to be looking to hunt down whatever overlords we can, dipping in towards the natural. We're going to be going for some landed, almost some landed Viking harass. Overlord with speed is going to be saved here, as here we go. We actually did have a drop lord. The queens come out across the map. Oh my god. I was wondering why the queens weren't at home to defend. I was curious. But we're just spreading creep. That's it. I love it. We're going over to the other third base location. Mate, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. We went for drop lords just to spread creep. Backwards from across the map. Meanwhile, we have a scan into the main base. The Spire has been spotted. Erik is going to make a choice here. Does he let it finish as more creep is being spread? And now GuMiho sees. He's like, what? He's like, what? What is happening? How? There we go. We do have a scan. Ooh, a money scan as well. He's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 every single tumor. Ooh. Erik wasn't quite able to spread his creep enough. So he does force one scan. Is he going to try and drop back in and throw down another tumor? I would love it if he tries to do that. But no, he's rushing back home instead. Mutas are on the way, but the Spire was scattered by GuMiho. He's aware he's going to be pushing out across the map. He has Stim. Soon about to have +1 in combat shields as well. This push is going to be devastating and... oh boy, no, the Viking! Oh, the drop! The drop has been caught out. The 3 queens that will get targeted down. Was this worth it here by Erik? I mean, it did force a scan earlier, but now we have 3 less queens to defend. Oh my god. The Marines have arrived. Bailing speed is still a couple of seconds away. No! The missed rally. 2 mutas go down for free. We need everything right now to defend. Mutas are coming into towards the third base. They're going to be able to get a lot of SCV kills, but can he defend back at home? Can he hold? SCVs are falling left and right. The Marines and the tanks are pushing on forward as well. We have a couple of Ravagers for those biles. We do force out a Stim. There we go. More Bailings are on the way. One of the Ravagers gets stuck. Hopefully we don't need it. Hopefully, Papi. Meanwhile, the Thirsty Seas lifted. The Mutas are coming back home. They're going to be able to get on top of those tanks. One Marauder gets picked off. The Mutas, they come in from behind. Oh, and here we go. As one tank unsieges, the Bailings, they roll on forward as well. The Biles will connect. The Mutas go down. An expensive trade here for Erik. He gets a tank. Ooh, and he gets some juicy connections. It looks like Erik will hold. But at the cost of almost every single muta, looking at the unit slots tab, 7 mutas went down, and GuMiho isn't done. He's going for his second wave. Erik trying to muster a defense back at home. We've got Bailings on the way, more mutas as well, but I feel like we need more Ravagers than anything. And we're going for a jump into the main. Yo, we're just doom dropping straight into the main base. Lings are about to go for a counterattack, but we need everything back at home. Oh god, almost another miss rally. Wiles will take down the tank. Bailings are going to be rolling on forward as well. Mutas will shut down the Viking. Meanwhile, the Ling counterattack is doing a lot of damage. But we have so much here at home. There are too many Marines. The Bailings, the Ravagers go down. The Bailiness falls. The boys are being pulled. Erik trying desperately to hold on with his mutas. He dealt a lot of damage across the map, but he's also sustaining a lot of losses. GG gets called, and GuMiho takes game 1. GG. This is what I mean. Like, GuMiho also has no fear. He's in your face, doom dropping into the main. What other Terran player would do that? Not Cure, not even Beyond. Beyond would open Reaper, to be fair. He'd open 2 racks. It'd be a different opener, but... GG. GuMiho does take the first game. But Erik, I'm loving what he was trying to whip out there. Going for something a little bit different. Going for some... a Drop-a-Lord play just to spread creep across the map with that fast lair. Crazy, crazy. I love it. It's beautiful. Catching on. But yeah, unfortunately wasn't able to spread enough creep in the end. Oh, smooch, Papi, smooch. As now we're going to be getting into game number 2. Let's go. And game 2 will be taking place on Royal Blood. Let's go. What does Erik mean? What does Erik stand for? It stands for endurance, righteousness, intellect, and kangaroo. The F in Erik stands for fear. Oh, let's go, Bobby. Sporting. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player currently leading the series 1-0. It's the Red Terran. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the opponent. We have the Brazilian Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. Ooh, that was a tight defense last game, by the way. Like, Erik was almost pulling it off. He was almost doing it. He was doing a lot of counter damage with his mutas, with his lings, and his bile and baneling connections were really good as well. Unfortunately, GuMiho wasn't stopping. GuMiho was not letting Erik breathe, and that's the thing about GuMiho. He was just constantly rallying everything across the map, just looking to push in and end the game. So Erik wasn't given any kind of breathing room, which I'm sure he usually expects from his Terran player, from his opponent. That's why I do think that this is kind of an interesting matchup when it comes to play styles. Like, both players want to be aggressive, both players want to be getting away with their builds and in each other's faces. We'll see what Erik has in store for us here in game 2. Because game 1, we went for a lair just to spread creep. Just think about that. The lair was just so that the Overlord can drop creep. That was the point. That was the point. And if GuMiho hadn't checked in time, if the one scan didn't cover every single tumor, like, I can see that working. I can 100% see that working. Oh my god. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh. As once again, we're going to be going for the 15 hatch and 15 pool opener. Hatch, pool, gas. Meanwhile, back at home, we have something very different from GuMiho. He went for a Rax expand, but he's going for a Marine first into Reactor. So this is going to be very interesting. With this, GuMiho is going to be lacking scouting information. He doesn't SCV scout. He doesn't Reaper scout. No, nothing across the map. And he's going to be cutting some corners in favor of some more greedy play. He's going into a 1-1-1. Reactor is on the racks, and Marines are already being produced. This is going to hit quite hard here as we're getting into a lot more Marine production early on. I wouldn't be surprised if this like leads into... Okay, never mind. We're only going to be stopping here at 3 Marines. We're going for the add-on stop. Up. We're getting there. We're getting there. Hellion production will continue. Meanwhile, behind this, Erik, upon seeing that there is no Reaper or SCV, throws down a Roach Warren. And we have a medevac drop being set up behind this. Oh my god. Now, what's important is that this medevac should be able to scout the main. We're going to be able to drop Hellions in, not just Hellions, but also these Marines as well. This is going to be a very early push. We could even see an armory with this as well for a Hellbat push. I don't think it's necessary, but possible. Meanwhile, I love this. Erik is like, mate, you want to ape into my mineral line? You just want to rush on in? Nah, not this time. He goes for the Evo chamber with the fast Roach Warren. He's going to be once again going into the lair and Overlord speed. Before that happens, the Overlord in the middle of the map is going to be cleaned up. The Hellions and Marines have been spotted, and this is forcing Erik to make roaches. I don't know if he wanted to, but he now is. Behind this, it's not mech. We have Stim on the way, thankfully. And we have a 1-1-1 Banshee opener. No cloak. Interesting. Here we go. We're going to be boosting on forward here. We're going to be dropping the Marines on top of the Queens as well. The Hellions, they just rush into the mineral line. They don't even care. Oh my god. And they're going to be getting a lot of worker kills. Oh, the SimCity's looking a little bit too good, but 8 drones go down. 10 drones as well. The target firing is insane. 3 more than game 1. But we're not done. It's not over because we have that fast lair, we have Overlord speed, and we're morphing in that Dropper Lord. And what's important is that this lair wasn't scouted. Even though GuMiho did a lot of economic damage, this time he doesn't know about the fast lair. But he's going for... yeah, he's going for his third TC, working on a couple more Raxes as well. Oh, the Banshee does see this. But we have some anti-air. We have a really interesting dynamic going on. There's no tanks to defend. The tank is still in production. I think Erik is aware of how vulnerable GuMiho is. Oh, as we are forcing the natural base to be evacuated, the queens are dropped. Creepers being spread. We're spreading the creep. The tumors get thrown down, and Erik is taking control of the natural. He can't break into the main. Tank is about to pop out. He has to be very careful with his army movement as the tank is looking to siege. Yo, but the NG Bay is exposed and it will go down. And I love this. This creep spread is going to be denying the natural, and we can even just keep spreading creep here towards the third as well. That's exactly what we're doing. Oh, we do take one tank shot to the face. We have to be very careful with our movements. Back at home, spores are on the way to make sure that the Banshee doesn't do too much counter damage as the Banshee is making its way across the map. Spreading as many tumors as possible. Erik going to be leaving his Roach Ravager behind just to clean up and just to delay things as much as he can. He does save the tumors. Up! Up! GuMiho, he gets one. Gets one tumor in the end. Meanwhile, the Banshee is still alive. Oh, no Spore the natural. Aye, aye, aye. We had a Spore in the main, a Spore in the third, no Spore the natural. The Banshee is doing a lot of damage. Oh, Erik getting punished for cutting some of those corners. 7 more drones go down. Erik was in a phenomenal position. Now things are looking a little bit more dicey. Here we go. The boys are being pulled. GuMiho is going for one big one base all in. We have 10 roaches on the way. Erik racing back home. Does he have enough to defend? That's the question. I do think he does with the power of the queens, with the Ravagers. Here we go. The boys are being pulled. Boy on boy action. The boys. The drones from both sides are going to be colliding. Here we go. Here we go. We have the tank sieging on forward as well, trying to break on through, but there's too much Roach Ravager. And Erik is gonna shut this down. I was just really caught off guard by what was happening. The Roach Ravager pushes on forward. The Marines are doing what they can, but the tanks are being focused down. One of them will get saved. GG gets called, and Erik is forcing the ace match. Let's go. Vámonos. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. And I think what's really impressive here, Erik, he went to the ace match against GuMiho last time as well. And that was the game where GuMiho proxy, I think he proxy 3-raxed. He proxy 3-raxed Erik, and Erik was able to defend. But what's different here is that GuMiho did go for an aggressive opener because he went for a 1-1-1. But it wasn't like any kind of like early cheese or anything like that. It was a little bit more straight up instead. And Erik was able to actually make use of his actually like have his build come to fruition. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And here we go. We have an ace match. Game number 3. Let's go. Unfortunately, this game will not have game heart, so we're gonna have to count workers. I know it's terrifying. Like how many drones are the Hellions gonna kill this time? We'll have to count. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Babylon, we have the South Korean Terran player representing himself in a tied up series. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings, tying up the series 1-1. It is Erik. Oh. Are we gonna get banned for boy-on-boy action? Is that... is that against TOS? Aye, aye, aye. Oh my god. Vámonos, papi. Vámonos. Erik, going for the 15 hatch. Show us the 15 pool. Gib. Ay. As, yeah, we're going to be getting into the ace match, game number 3. How will this all unfold? There is that 15 hatchery. You love to see it. And, yeah, I mean, really, I think I'm looking at GuMiho. I feel like GuMiho is a little bit upset after that game. Very quickly jumping into the lobby and jumping into game 3. Obviously, not going to be proxying here, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the ace match he whips out mech or he goes for even a BC opener. Oh boy, we'll see. This time, I appreciate it. In game 2, he was kind of punished for not having a Reaper, for lacking scouting information. This time, we do have a Reaper opener. Still no SCV scout, but at least a Reaper to try and slip on in, get an eye on the lair timing, get an eye on any kind of early Roach Warren. These are all things that GuMiho lacked in the last game. Here we go. Reaper going to be zooming across the map. Meanwhile, Erik, this is the earliest Roach Warren he has gone for this entire series. So, gonna be gambling a little bit here. Gonna be taking his second gas as well off of 19, or sorry, soon to be 21 drones. Is going for that very fast Roach Warren. Reaper slips on in and should be able to scout this. Reaper gets past the first queen, dips in towards the national domain, but no! He doesn't go behind the mineral line. He doesn't even see the additional gas. Even though he knows it was a 15 hatch, 15 pool opener, like, he's in the dark. The Lings are across the map. This is forcing the Reaper back home. Uh-oh. Ooh, the Marines go down. The CC will finish, but again, what's important is that the Reaper hasn't seen anything. GuMiho is going for a 3cc opener. This is best case scenario for Erik. Here we go. The Roaches are going to be rushing across the map, and GuMiho doesn't have much of anything to defend. He's got one Reaper, and that's it. Soon to be 2 more Hellions. Roaches have been spotted. Erik is committing, by the way. I believe he's making, yes, his 7th and 8th Roach as he rushes across the map. Behind this, he's going to be droning, but with this, he should be able to take control of the natural, maybe even break into the main. Because again, what do we have to defend? Hellions? Mines? Ay. Here we go. Erik is rocking on up. We have a couple of Ravagers on the way as well. Oh, a couple of SCVs do get locked out. They will go down. GuMiho trying to go for a counterattack instead, which makes sense. The Hellions and Reapers aren't going to do anything across the map. Well, they aren't going to do anything here defensively at home, I should say. Mine Shot goes off, but it connects with the Overlord. What do we have back at home to defend? The 2 Hellions and the Reaper, they have a lot of potential. But the Queen is on the ramp. And meanwhile, the Biles are connecting. The Depot and the Reactor are going to be going down. The Queens defend. Oof. We have 2 Marauders in that bunker. God, but the Biles, I think they're going to just be too much. Oh, there we go. The Biles will connect. Bunker will survive, though. We have a full 360 surround of repairs. With the help of this Viking, it looks like this should get slowed down. And there we go. GuMiho has held on one base. He has 3cc. He's got 3 orbitals right next to each other. He has plenty of SCV production. Oh! Mine is going to be going off as well. Good connection. Good target firing there by GuMiho. Behind this, Erik is droning. He's saturating his bases. He's going into a lair. This is looking like 2-base Muta. But I gotta stop myself. It looks like 2-base Muta, but if you remember, when we interviewed Erik, he was like, you know what, 2-base Muta is trash. 2-base Swarm host Papi. So I wonder if he's gonna go for the standard Spire follow-up from a Roach opening, or if he's gonna be going for an Infestation Pit instead. Show us the way, Erik. Show us the way. What's it gonna be? Meanwhile, GuMiho is retaking control of his natural. Again, he's going to be able to main-node his workers over, throwing down the rest of his production and his NG bays. Meanwhile, with the lair finishing up, Overlord speed. And an Overlord. Sorry, and a Dropper Lord. So, oh my god, as we don't have a Spire follow-up or a Swarm Host follow-up, we do have a Hellions dropping into the main base, and ooh, they are going to be able to roast up a couple of those drones. 2 drones do go down, and they scout the lair. But I guess the flavor of the week is lair just for creep spread. I guess that's just what Erik is on right now. Again, Erik has been exploring the game. He has been trying to figure out his own builds, and it looks like this is what he likes. At least this week. No! The Viking! Oh, the Viking rocks up, though, and it is going to be denying this Dropper Lord. Oof. Is going to slow it down. Meanwhile, the drop comes back into the main base. There are roaches at home to defend, so these Hellions shouldn't get too much damage as they do get into the mineral line. Roaches do need to react. Oh, but another 2 drones go down, and meanwhile, I love it. The queens are here, and what are they here to do? Spread creep at the third. Erik taking his own third, droning on up, saturating his bases. Oh, but these 2 Hellions have been so annoying. They've gotten 4 kills in total, looking for another 2. Ooh, up! Oh my god. Vikings gotta be careful, but as behind this, we're getting into a 5-rack setup. You know, quite a decent production here on 2 bases. Got 1 on the way. GuMiho is not playing mech, he's of course playing bio. But again, Erik just being as annoying as possible, spreading creep all across the map. The Viking has to land and is going to be trying to delay this creep shred. And Erik, he can rush back home. We just spread tumors outside the natural, outside the third, outside the other triangular third, and then we can just save our queens from there. We do have a scan being utilized, 2 scans as well. Is going to be able to clean everything up. But you could argue that that was already worth it. Ooh. As we can just drone up from here. We're fully saturated on our 3 bases. We're working on Roach Ravager. Now the question is Erik planning to saturate or to drone up more than 66 even? Oh, spread the creep, Poppy. Spread the creep. Let's go. The creep highway is commencing. At the same time, though, GuMiho is being quite active with his army. Splitting off a drop here on the left-hand side. One on the way. Infestation pit being thrown down as well. We do have a scan in between the bases. GuMiho looking for a way in. He does see the army. Does see that it's moving out of position. GuMiho has a second force on the right-hand side, clearing up more of this creep. Oh, can he get the last tumor? Tumor will not finish. So it's at 3 scans to clean everything up. But GuMiho hasn't gone in yet. We also don't have a 4th base as we're going into pathogen glands. We're going into infestors. Erik is looking to max out on Roach Ravager. He's almost there. Now, we can end up in a really weird position because Erik has quite a large army across the map. But this drop, yep, it's going in. As soon as the roaches reveal themselves, GuMiho is going for basically a pseudo-base trade. Here we go. Marines and Marauders are rushing across the map at the same time. We have tanks waiting in the natural base. GuMiho was waiting for this moment. He knew it would come. Roach Ravager has to turn back around. There's nothing they can do. And Erik is losing everything back at home. The 3rd base goes down. The drones as well. The natural is under threat. Erik is forced all in and he can't do anything. There's 3 tanks waiting at the natural. He has to turn back around, and that's how it ends. That is how it ends. Oh my god. Erik was doing such a great job at getting to this stage of the game, but GuMiho was keeping his army hidden, waiting for Erik to push out. GuMiho was more than willing to give up his 3rd base, and he kills every single drone. A good effort here by Erik. Alas, just didn't know where the army was. And even the last hatchery goes down. We have 0 bases remaining. And we only have 3 drones left. Oof. This is reminding me of, I think we saw a very similar thing happen between Vindicta and Spirit when they played in WTL. As Erik has nothing left, is going to be trying to break this position. But again, with all these tanks, there's just no way in. We're going to try, but the Marine Marauder pushes down the ramp as well. Oof. Biles take down one of the tanks. GG, good luck gets called, and GuMiho takes the series 2-1 and moves on to the next round. GG. Again, against any other Terran. Give him Cure. Give him Cure. Give him Ryung. Bunny. Keen. Anyone else, and I'm sure Erik would have a better time. But GuMiho, a little bit cheeky, was waiting, lying in wait, waiting for the moment, just preparing himself for a base trade, essentially. And GuMiho was able to catch Erik with his pants down. GG. Congratulations. With that, GuMiho moves on to the next round. As we have ourselves another series. Oh my god. Oh, we're jumping in mid-series, actually. Oh my. Alright, let's go.